Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the October 2nd meeting of the Watuppa Water Board. First, pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived by those present, and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Thank you very much. Having a quorum, I would ask the clerk to call the roll.
President Terrio.
Present.
Member Ferrer.
Here.
Member Collins.
Here.
Thank you.
All here. First item on the agenda is citizen input. Has anyone signed up for citizen input? Having no one signed up, let's move to item number 2 on the agenda, the minutes of the previous meeting. If you've had a chance to review them and you have any questions, comments, are there any corrections or omissions? If not, the chair would entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. This moves us to item number 3, proposed leak abatements. We will turn this over to the clerk. Mr. Clerk.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. So in front of you, you have a number of leak abatements that were filed in the recommended amount for approval. These 23 and 24 primarily when they were filed, with the analysis being done recently. Some of the older ones we had to wait for to make sure the leak came back down and that there was enough quarters to be able to get an average usage. So that's why some of these are a little bit older. All of them together in front of you today total $18,941.58.
All conformed with policy.
Correct. So as has been talked to at the board meetings before, any denials will be administratively denied because they don't meet the requirements of the leak abatement to come in front of the board. They'll be sent a letter and they will have the right to have an independent hearing in front of the board if they disagree with the denial.
Excellent. Having reviewed the abatement and gone over the numbers, are there any questions? If there are no questions, Chair would entertain a motion to approve the abatements in the amount of $18,941.58.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right, that moves us off our abatements and takes us to the next item on our agenda, which is the lead service line replacement contract amendment number 1 for Woodward and Curran Engineering in the amount of $300,000. Mr. Clerk.
Yeah, so this is, if you remember, a couple of meetings ago, we approved, this is for calendar year 2024 lead service removal program.
Yep.
The board approved a smaller contract for Woodward and Curran to get them started on the inspectional services of this project. This is just the remainder of that contract of inspectional services and construction management to keep this project moving forward.
Absolutely, and this is going to help us meet our lead service line goal for 24 and take us into 25?
Yes.
Excellent. So the contract amendment for additional construction phase engineering services for the lead service line replacement, program contract 1 in the amount of $300,000. Chair would ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're going along without pontification here. Let's see, lead service line replacement. Next item up for bids. No, next item on the agenda is the lead service line replacement change order number 4 for Bisco Construction. This is the service inspection. This is in the amount of $670,190.48. If I understand correctly, these are the home inspections in which the services and the meters are inspected to ensure that if a lead service exists, that lead service will be addressed. This also gives us an update on our records, which unfortunately through the years, a lot of times streets are done, people do improvements, and the department isn't notified. And that's just been our problem in the past. So, unless there are any questions, this is very straightforward. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the service inspections to continue the program throughout the remainder of calendar 24 and into fiscal calendar 25 in the amount of $670,190.48.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, item number 6 is the water maintenance building. And we will turn that over to you, sir.
Yeah, so this is a final closeout change order for the water maintenance building here that we're currently in right now. Bisco Building Systems was the contractor on this project. So as the construction went on, there were some things that were discovered through the project and needed to be dealt with. So those are listed out on the second page. Again, as put in your packet, full backup can be provided if anybody would like to review all of these things. These have been reviewed by myself, our engineering, the architect, as well as a separate engineering firm that possibly oversaw some of the construction as well. So they've been through all of these, feel that all the costs justified. So this is, like I said, final change order on this project, and this will close this project out.
Excellent.
Motion approved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now to the heart of the matter, the Westport agreement update. Mr. Clerk.
So just wanted to give you an update. Westport's intermunicipal agreement expired last year in 2023. We have not extended it. In their current intermunicipal agreement, it states that we have the right to go year by year with the same terms in the existing intermunicipal agreement. We haven't gone into a new intermunicipal agreement with them because there was a disputed past amount due to the water department. Just a little bit of history on where it came from. Originally, in 1986 or so, Westport built out their system, started taking water from Fall River, and as the board knows, we supply also to Freetown and North Tiverton Fire District. So they started taking water. 2013 was the last intermunicipal agreement. Starting in 2016, there was a dispute from Westport on the accuracy. There was a question and dispute on the accuracy of the water that was flowing through the meter at the town line. So what happens is essentially we wholesale water to them at the town line. It leaves our system, enters their system. They're responsible for their own system, their water quality, their pipes, their meters, and everything within their system. Right around this time, 2016, 2017, is when the trihalomethane, which is a disinfection byproduct rule, went from an average throughout your whole entire system to a 4-quarter running average at the independent sites that you were testing at. So a lot of communities had issues being compliant with the trihalometane regulations, which was 80,000 parts per million. Excuse me, 80 parts per million. At that time, Westport needed to increase the amount of water that they had going out their bleeders for water quality purposes. The meters that they had on there were positive displacement meters, and at the volume that they were running water out of those meters, it was outside of the operating range of the meter, and then it would very quickly burn out the meter as well. So how it works with them, and the agreement stated that we would credit them the amount of water that they flushed off for water quality purposes off the meter at the town line. If they didn't have good meters to be able to measure the water that they were flushing, then potentially the water that went through the meter at the town line could be a lot higher. Their credit that they're supposed to be measuring and providing us was a lot lower, and they weren't getting the full value of the credit. Our standpoint, it's their meters, their system, they're supposed to maintain it and take care of it. That started in about 2016, and in 2016, they questioned the accuracy. They really questioned the accuracy and wanted proof that the meter at the town line was reading properly. We took that meter offline for about a 3-month period, had it tested, and it was reading accurately, put it back in. Those 3 months that the meter wasn't in service, we agreed that they could pay $8,000 per month for those 3 months. The town administrator that was in Westport at that time took it upon himself to say, okay, those 3 months I paid $8,000, I'm going to pay $8,000 every month thereafter, all the way up until about 2020. John Fryer sent the town and the town administrator multiple letters. Terry Sullivan sent them multiple letters of the past due amount. And when Terry left, I sent them letters as well, the prior town administrator. In 21, a new town administrator came into Westport, and that town administrator wanted to clear up this issue, knowing that it was a past issue that needed to be dealt with. So what we did, first thing we did, he made sure that the meters that were in place on their bleeders were the proper meters, functioning properly and everything like that. So once that happened, we set up a new billing account to be able to get away from the old billing account that was a little bit of a mess. Just because there was a lot of unpaid bills and how bills were applied, it was just really tough to follow. So we wanted to start clean. We started clean in 21. The January of 22, we started clean and fresh, new account. They've been 100% up to date with providing us the proper credits that they've flushed. They've also been up to date with making payments on their account since January of 22. And any issues, discrepancies that come up, they contact us right away when they get their bill, and the issue is taken care of right then at that point. So right now we're in a very good operating place with them, but we still had this large outstanding balance due from them. So going through, so the way that it works is our accounting system, bill goes in, it's Munis. Westport's account is just like every other customer's account. It gets hit automatically within the billing system with penalties and then interest charges and everything like that. But our intermunicipal agreement that we have with the other communities with Westport is silent to interest and penalties and things like that. So it doesn't say that we can charge penalties. According to Massachusetts law in the past, if your intermunicipal agreement doesn't state that you can charge it, it's not something that you can charge another municipality. So that's what I was told So essentially, all of that interest and everything was accruing on that account. So that account was highly overinflated on what was actually due from them. So after we spent a lot of time. So I worked with the current town administrator. They hired a consultant to go through everything. We provided a full review of the account in our system, interest that was applied, how it was applied, credits that were applied, credits that weren't applied, that were sent to us. We didn't apply them to try to get their attention to straighten it out. And we were at $579,000 or so without any interest, without any penalties. Roughly, that's what we feel went through the meter at the town line that was due to us. There was another portion of credits that weren't applied to that amount and stuff like that. So that's really what we were talking about. Westport took the stance that we don't owe you anything. After their evaluation, they felt that they didn't owe us anything, and we felt that they did. So I was working with the town administrator back and forth, and we kind of came to a standstill at one point. And then brought in the mayor's representative came in. We sat down, again with the town administrator from Westport and somebody from their select board to try to come to a resolution. We met about 4 times or so, and we've came to an acceptable compromise number to both parties at $292,397. Will be paid from the town of Westport. They're planning on 2 separate installments to be paid over the next year to the city for all of this back to amount. That amount, I feel, I'm comfortable accepting that amount for the past due. Again, as I said, the meters, there are letters from us to them saying that your meters are not working, they need to be replaced. So water went through the bleeders. It's all a question of how much went through those bleeders and how much didn't. If we look at the amount that we've compromised on, it's very consistent with what, if we were to issue a leak abatement policy for that whole entire amount to one of our customers, it's very consistent following that leak abatement policy where we would charge them for their normal usage, and then 50% of the overage would be forgiven and 50% they would be charged for. So, it's that's why I'm comfortable with being able to do this. Westport still states that the amount that we would have billed them for that they've already paid for, plus this is well over what they billed their customers for. But again, we don't know the accuracy of their meters in their system, so that's why we still feel that this is a good compromise to be able to settle on this. Then we'll be able to move forward, get into a new intermunicipal agreement with them, and move forward. Just one other note about Westport. Within their intermunicipal agreement right now, they do pay 70% higher than our residential customers within Fall River. Most of our other intermunicipal agreements are 55% higher. They're still on the old one, which is 70% higher. So even with that 579,000, that's 70% higher than what any of our residential customers pay.
Yeah. So actually, I had gone over these numbers myself, and frankly, they're right in line with what historically the department has done in other cases. But it should be understood that the cost to the city of this $293,000 is actually 1/3 of that. The rest of that is in surcharge. So in other words, we are not losing money on the production of the product sold. The adjustment is in what they were using and in surcharge. But I tracked the numbers several times, and they look pretty good to me. And they're, as I said, they're consistent with my understanding of the history of intermunicipal agreements as we've done in the past.
Will these 2 installments be made during this town administrator's existence in that position?
I have not heard that he's planning on retiring, I don't know if there is anything, but once this board approves this, I plan on putting together an agreement to send it to get to Westport for them to have them sign it. From what the talks have been with them, a 50% installment will be made right away, and then come June or July, the second installment will come through, because that needs to go to their town meeting for payment of that.
I'm sorry.
That was it. I just wanted, the
Yeah.
agreements come and go as people come and go, so I prefer they come back to zero
No.
prior to fiscal year end, so that's fine.
I was going to ask, is there any chance of getting it in fiscal '25?
I would definitely like to get it within fiscal '25. Their town administrator, the way that their town meeting works and stuff like
Yeah.
that. He's asking for a July 15th payment date to be done by July 15th, just how this stuff works.
Well, he might have an easier time selling the Board of Selectmen for July but
I don't know their politics.
it's a town, I'm not going to go near that.
Yeah, and again, just full disclosure to the board, there's a resolution about this in front of the city council, which city council sent to the committee on finance, so I expect some discussion on that within the near future in front of city council.
Well, I think it's important that the council be aware that the breakdown of the settlement agreement is actually in favor of the city. If you, the way I've looked at these numbers, I don't find any fault with it whatsoever, because it's almost, the town is mandated by the state to do the flushing, so that, their issue was they oversped their meters and burned them. Now, they aren't using hydrants at this time, are they?
So they're not using hydrants, they have independent bleeder services.
They used to
set up.
use hydrants, and I'd see them
Yeah.
flushing on Davis and,
So they do have a hydrant flushing program as well within
Oh, okay.
the intermunicipal agreement. How their hydrant flushing program works is the day that they want to flush, or the couple of days that they want to flush, they call us, they let us know, we go out, we do a read at the
You do a
meter
check
at
read.
the town line. They do their flushing throughout their system, we go back, get a read at the end, and then we charge them what their average daily usage plus another 10%.
plus another 10%.
So
That goes on the,
90% off.
right on the count in Munis, right? Yeah, excellent, Tom. Thank you, Paul.
So yeah, that is another flushing
That's an
program.
excellent question, though, because it has been, there was a change in town administrator. They went from 100% of nothing to a realistic settlement. So your point is extremely well taken.
Yeah.
Are there any questions? I have none. A lot of hard work went into this, I know that for a fact. And people should be assured that the city is getting its fair billing and its fair revenue. And the town is current on their bills and they pay their bill on time. That's fine. This is revenue from prior fiscal years. This is, an addition to the budget. Be nice to have in fiscal '25.
Yeah, again, it would be good to have it in 25.
All right. Without any further ado, could we have a motion to approve the past due water agreement at this time?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anything else to come before the board?
Just have 2 contract updates. I'd like to make
Good.
the board aware about. So AD Paolini who is the contractor that had the calendar year 23 lead service replacement contract. They still have a couple of punch list items to do, so they asked for a time extension, no cost, time extension on their contract, which I granted. So December 15th is the new contract completion date. And then just the other thing that I wanted to make the board aware of, the ARPA water main replacement contract. There will be one change order to the BISCO contract, which is the contractor doing the water main replacement, and one to Stantec, who is the construction management resident inspector for the project. This is in relation to the Oak Grove sewer. So the sewer from New Boston Road to Locust Street was in really tough shape. Once we went in there, we replaced the water main. We went in, they ground the road up. There was 4 spots of the road where we found voids underneath the pavement. We were wondering where those voids came from, sent our CCTV camera into the sewer, and realized that multiple spots throughout that whole entire length, there's issues with the sewer. So as a change order to the contractor, we're gonna have the contractor go in and replace that sewer. That's gonna be a cost to the sewer commission, but it's a change order to a water board contract, so I just wanted to make you guys aware of that.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further business to come before the board?
No, sir.
Could we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.